Hey yo, what it do, man? This your boy Totebag, and this is Culture Topics.
Wow.
Salute to my hustlers and what's poppin' to my entrepreneurs. DFW stand up. Waco Tyler, Walter Hatchet, what it do, man? Farmers Branch, what's poppin', man? What's good? West Dallas stand up. Got one today, man. We gonna go back to the hood, man. Take y'all back to that big bad East Dallas, man. But first, like, share, subscribe. I am the founder of East Dallas Fashion, you know what I'm saying? Got a little drink in my cup, you know what I'm saying? Only on Amazon. You dig? But take us back to the hood, man. Take us back. And we're gonna go over another time when, you know, you should have followed your first mind, you know. Should have followed, actually I was following my first mind again in this situation. But my comrade, you know what I'm saying, my homie, my boy, you know, he was living in the moment at that time, and man, kinda got caught up in a little situation, so it was due to gambling, you know. So this time, it had been, man, this was a long day, man. We started out, you know, we was drinking and smoking and having a good time. It was around, a little bit around this time right now, it was around fair time. And we was riding around, having a good time, man, riding around in the lack, you know, system bumping. You know, man, looking good. You know, we hollering at everything moving. You know what I'm saying? Just feeling ourselves. And so man, at one point we had got so good, man. We was riding through the fair. We didn't even know we was riding through the fair. We was riding through the fairgrounds, man. And the police pulled us over. They was in a golf cart. They pulled us over in the goddamn golf cart, bruh. That's how zooted we was, man. They pulled us over in the golf cart, you know, got us straight and sent us about our way, you know. We left from there, had a couple flats, driving reckless, you know what I'm saying, zooted, got that fixed, you know what I'm saying, got the tire situation fixed or whatnot. And then now it's time to, you know, hit the club or whatnot. But first, before we hit the club, we hit this gambling spot, and this where everything, you know, everything kind of went left, man. Okay, so we pull up to this gambling spot in the hood, right? It's not really in the hood, but it's in a hood that we frequent sometimes, and so when we get out, man, I'm looking around, you know, I'm peeping my surroundings or whatever, and I'm seeing, you know, a lot of characters that are, you know, kind of like, they like some shady characters, they some hustlers, they some gamblers or whatever, but they also, you know, they on some bullshit, they be on some bullshit sometimes, but you gotta know if you know. So my boy, he just wanna gamble. So they in there doing some major gambling, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying, they is gambling, but I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying, you know these guys is actually on the table shooting, you know what I'm saying, shooting dice, they were shooting dice, and he was saying, nah, but you know what I'm saying, he was like, you know, I come here from time to time or whatever, so it's all good or whatever. So he had a big bankroll on it. And they started, you know, he got in on the game, they started shooting, and they shooting, and he wasn't hitting at all, he wasn't hitting, period. And he had a knot like this, and as the night was progressing, man, that knot went from this to this to this to this to the point to where he had to go back to the car, man, and he looking for money to see if he can get back in the game, right? So he did that. He went back to the car. He got some bread, went back in, and started shooting again, and they hit him again. Okay, They keep hitting him. What he don't know is, what I don't know is, I just know something shady going on. You know, I just know it's some crooked shit going on because these are some crooked ass people, you know. But what was going on is the dice was loaded. So ain't no way he was gonna win. And they wasn't doing no back and forward, letting him win sometimes and then they win. They wasn't doing that. They was just hitting him. And he keep thinking that he can get back in the game. The more he bet, he can get back in and break even or whatever and then take back over. But it wasn't going down like that at all, period, man. And so he went through the knot that he had on him. And the only other money that he had was his hustle money. You know, the money that he owes to the plug or whatever. But that's back at the house, you know what I'm saying? Good. So I thought, my boy want to go back to the house, man. Go back to the closet. Get that, get his re-up money or whatever. And the money that he owe his plug, man. Because he had a hella fire-ass plug, man. Kept him with everything he needed, kept him with a pocket full of that money, man. That's why he had a bankroll like that, because of that fire ass plug that he had, you know, had his back. So anyway, he goes and gets the money. We go back and they hit him again, man, and they hit him for all of that re-up money, all of the money that he had saved up in his pocket, that big knot, and the money that he had to buy more stuff and pay off the dude, you know what I'm saying, that was, you know, getting him to work or whatever. He blew through all of that in one night. He blew through it all. And man, he was sick, and he just couldn't figure out why he wasn't winning. It still didn't register to him, even after all of that. It still didn't register to him that, you know, they was cheating, man. They had the dice loaded. You know, there was no way he was gonna win at all, period. He wasn't gonna win. So that was a big lesson because, you know, little did I know, he's been through things like that in the past, where he's dipped into the plug's money on some gambling shit and came short or didn't have the money for the plug, and this was like the final straw. So he couldn't pay the plug, and the plug cut him out. You know, the plug wasn't gonna do nothing to him because they was good, but the plug couldn't take no more chances with him, man. And the plug cut him out. You know, he had a fire plug, and the plug cut him out, man. You know, due to that gambling. You know, I say in one of my other stories, you know what I'm saying, no gambling in jail or whatever. And sometimes you have to take in consideration, even in the free world, no gambling, man. Because our gamblers ain't good gamblers, man. Our bets ain't good bets. Our people that you're gambling with on the streets, they ain't good people. Even if you at the casino, you know, the house always wins. You know, that's what they say. That's a saying that they have. The house always wins. So, you know, you gotta be mindful of things like that, man, and be mindful of your surroundings, and just take your time, man, and don't try to move so fast and don't live in the moment. And most importantly, man, if you got somebody with you that has one of those feelings, or if they have some type of insight on what's going on, and they don't have a good feeling, you should go with that. You know, you should ride with that. So, you know, that's my story for tonight, man. You know, just be aware of your surroundings. Don't be so quick to gamble with people who you really, really, really don't know like that, you know, because it can turn out like that. And if you have that gambling bug in you, you're not going to stop gambling until you're completely broke. Sometimes you gotta dip into monies that you really can't afford to dip into, and borrow money from people and things like that, and you can't even pay it back, man. You lose friendships and you lose relationships like that. You know, you lose ties like that when you're going through situations like that. Just nose diving into gambling type situations or any type of situations without you know, checking the facts and seeing what's going on. So man, this your boy Tony Totebag. I had to come through, you know, late night with this one, you know. Thought about this story, had to give it to y'all here at Culture Topics, man. So hope y'all enjoy, man. Like, share, and subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. I am your boy Tony Totebag. This is Culture Topics. I am the founder of E-Style Fashion, only on Amazon. Until next time, peace.